You're on Red Hunt, where the smallest choices can lead to the biggest consequences, starting with this one. I am in the process of buying a house with my fiancé, but I am troubled by how unclean her apartment is, which is filled with fur from her 2 cats. The issue is that I am allergic to cats. I have to take an allergy medication every time I visit her home. Otherwise, my face becomes swollen, my eyes become watery, and I experience a significant amount of sneezing. When I sleep at her place, the cats walk on my face during the night, and I wake up feeling miserable the next day. She was aware of my allergy. We had been together for years before she adopted a cat. At that time, she expressed her desire for a cat, explaining how lonely she felt during the week. She encouraged me to accept the idea. Later, without discussing it with me, she adopted a second cat. I was not in favor of this decision, and we had arguments about it, but I did not want to end a healthy relationship over a cat, so I tried to cope. Now that we are discussing marriage and buying a home, I do not want to spend the rest of my life relying on allergy medication and dealing with poor breathing and overall health. Initially, I suggested that the cats should be kept outdoors. I proposed installing safety nets around the property perimeter to allow them to live outside with my dog. She did not agree to this. I then proposed that the cats be restricted to the ground floor and not allowed upstairs to the bedrooms. However, she still does not agree to this arrangement. She insists that the cats must have access to the entire house and that they will sleep with us if they choose. According to her, her cats are her companions. They have always slept with her, and she claims that I agreed to her getting cats in the past. I feel that she guilt-tripped me into agreeing to have one cat. Now, I am feeling quite miserable about the prospect of ending a marriage over a cat. I wish I did not have this medical condition, but it is beyond my control. I do not want to choose to live a miserable life surrounded by fur, sleeping in an uncomfortable situation, and never being able to wear a proper pair of black pants because she pressured me into accepting the cats. Am I the one in the wrong here? For real, it sounds like you and your fiancé are really at a crossroads here. I mean, trying to make a relationship work when you're fundamentally incompatible is tough, especially when it comes to your health. If she won't even consider your allergy and refuses to keep the cats out of certain areas, that's a major red flag. You shouldn't have to fight for basic comfort in your own home. Honestly, it's not about breaking up a marriage. It's about recognizing that this relationship might not be right for you. Before you move forward with big decisions like marriage or buying a house, you both need to have a serious conversation about what each of you values. If she values her pets over your health, that's definitely something to think about. Ultimatums can feel a bit awkward in relationships, but sometimes they're necessary to clarify what's really a big deal. It might be best to part ways now and find someone who's more compatible. Don't brush off the signs. Your well-being should come first. Am I the jerk for going through my best friend's phone? We are both 16 years old and have been best friends since elementary school. We have grown up together, and I genuinely love her like a sister. I believe I always will, no matter what. A few months ago, she invited me on a weekend trip with her family for a rifle match out of state. Before the trip, she informed her teammates that I would be joining them, including a younger girl she described as immature. This girl had never met me but was very peculiar about my presence. She asked my friend why I had to come and expressed that she did not want me there. That was disappointing, but my friend advised me not to let it ruin the trip. She mentioned that this was just the way the girl was. When I arrived, the girl was incredibly rude and standoffish. She glared at me the entire time, refused to sit next to me at dinner, made snide comments, and even called me pretty, which was strange. After the trip, she texted my friend, stating that I was annoying and weird, and asked her never to bring me again. I am a people pleaser and had done nothing to provoke her, so the entire situation really affected me. What hurt even more was that my best friend continued to stay close with this girl afterward. She would complain to me about her but still texted her constantly and kept hanging out with her. If the roles were reversed, I would have cut the girl off immediately. Eventually, I shared my feelings with my friend. She said she appreciated my honesty but could not stop being friends with the other girl because it would create awkwardness on the team. Things became tense and uncomfortable after that, and neither of us said anything because we both struggle with communication. Meanwhile, I continued to support her as she was dealing with a toxic relationship and various mental health struggles. About a week ago, I spent the night at her house and had a very strong gut feeling. She has always talked badly about others to me, so I began to wonder if she might be doing the same about me. We have had the same phone password for years. I knew it was an invasion of privacy, but I ended up checking her texts because I could not shake the feeling. I searched for my name. I found her calling me names and venting to others about things I do that she has never mentioned to me. I even saw her ex-boyfriend say, "You would not be friends if she knew what you said about her." I recognized that what I did was wrong, but at the same time, I feel like it was my intuition protecting me. Every time I see her now, I think about all of our happy memories, and it feels like a knife to the heart. We are currently on an unofficial break. I told her how hurt I was, and she essentially told me that I should leave the friendship for my own good. That hurts as well because I would have been willing to forgive her and work through it. I know she is a kind person at her core, and I still dislike the idea of losing her. However, I also feel deeply betrayed and at the same time very guilty. It sounds like both of you are kind of wrong here. I mean, yeah, going through her phone was definitely an invasion of privacy, but she's not exactly being a good friend either. If she's trash-talking you behind your back and still hanging out with that rude girl, it's time to rethink this friendship. Honestly, it's tough to hear, especially after so many years, but true friends wouldn't treat each other like that. You deserve to feel supported and respected, not like a backup option. Maybe take this unofficial break to really think about what you want. It's totally okay to feel some type of way and betrayed. Those feelings are valid. If she can't be honest with you, is it really worth holding on? Trust your gut on this one and prioritize your own well-being. You'll figure it out. Am I the jerk for not texting back my best friend after they ghosted me for 6 months? I have been best friends with a girl whom I will refer to as Sarah for 11 years. We grew up together and supported each other through family problems and personal struggles. We have maintained our close friendship through numerous social circles over the years. Over a year ago, I suggested that we attend an emo festival together since we both enjoy that type of music. She agreed and asked if I could pay for her ticket, promising to pay me back later. I trusted her and paid for both of our tickets. In the following months, I repeatedly asked her if she still wanted to go, when she would pay me back, and how we were going to travel there, as the festival is located in Manchester, which is a 2-hour drive from my city. I was willing to organize the travel, I just needed her input. She assured me that she would pay me back and still wanted to go. However, as time passed and I still had not received payment or any communication about our travel plans, my patience began to wear thin. By November of 2024, she still had not addressed the money or travel arrangements, but she maintained that she wanted to attend the festival. At that point, she had almost a year to pay me back or to inform me that she no longer wanted to go. In December, with only a week left until the emo festival, she had been ignoring me since November. She had asked me to attend the festival with her, requested that I pay for her, and assured me that she wanted to go, but then stopped communicating with me entirely right before the event. Fast forward to now, 5 months after the emo festival and 6 months since she began ignoring me, she sent me a text saying, "I am sorry for not replying and for being a bad friend. Can we talk about it later?" I am uncertain about how to respond and have not yet replied to her message. Reflecting on our friendship since she stopped communicating with me has made me realize that she was a negative influence in my life. She was often under the influence of drugs when we were together. I cannot recall a single occasion in the past 5 years when we hung out that she was not high. She only reached out to me when I received my paycheck, and my other friends have pointed out that she treated me poorly. Of course, I miss her. We have been friends for over a decade. We attended primary and secondary school together and continued to communicate during college. However, I question whether I truly want her back in my life, especially since she did not even apologize for not repaying me. I am not upset about having to pay for her ticket. I am frustrated that the money and ticket were wasted because I could not find anyone else to attend with me, and she had expressed a desire to go. Additionally, I am hurt that she ghosted me for so long without any explanation after years of friendship. She also continues to view my stories on Snapchat and my profiles on social media. Am I in the wrong if I do not respond to her? Should I consider hearing her out? Hey, just a quick heads up. Your post was removed because it goes against Rule 11. Discussions about cutting contact or breaking off friendships are not allowed here. So if you want to resubmit, just make sure to check out the rules and FAQs linked in the message. Oh, and you'll need to message the mods first for approval before you try again. Just a reminder, resubmitting without that approval could get you banned, so it's definitely best to follow the process. If you're looking for a place to share your thoughts on this topic, honestly, check out r/finderdit for other subreddits that might be a better fit. Hope that helps. Am I the jerk for leaving my friend after they threw up in the middle of nowhere? 2 weeks ago, one of my close friends, who is 18 years old, and I, who am 19 years old, decided to go on a 35-mile cycle in a very hilly part of the United Kingdom. We had previously completed a 20-mile cycle together without any issues, maintaining a decent pace. However, my friend went to Florida for 2 weeks and was unable to cycle much during that time, while I cycled almost daily and improved my speed and fitness. When he returned, I checked if he was still okay for the cycle, and he insisted that he wanted to go. We started cycling at a fairly fast pace. About 15 minutes into the ride, we encountered a relatively steep but short incline, which I managed quite well. My friend kept pace with me for most of the climb, but near the top, he unexpectedly slowed down significantly. Once we reached the top, he asked to stop and mentioned that he was about to throw up. We waited for a while as he retched once or twice. After comforting him, I asked if he wanted to turn back, but he decided he wanted to continue. We slowed down our pace, and I told him that he could slow down further if he needed to. After that, we did not stop much until we began gaining altitude about 10 miles later. At that point, we were stopping every 5 to 10 minutes for him to catch his breath. I asked if he still wanted to continue, but he said he was too far from home to find his way back, so he decided to stick with me. We were less than a third of the way through at that moment. After climbing a steep hill and descending again, we reached the steepest incline we had seen so far. After about 2 minutes, he stopped, wobbled, and then started throwing up. He was sick multiple times and expelled a significant amount. I realized he could not continue, so we walked up the hill to an empty driveway and sat down. We checked the options for public transport, and it would take over 5 hours to get home compared to the hour and a half it would take to cycle back, but he was in no position to cycle. We decided to call his father to pick him up, but he mentioned it would take an hour to reach us. The weather suddenly turned windy and cold, and I was only wearing a t-shirt, which would have been fine if I were cycling. I asked if I could continue the cycle, knowing that the route would take me back to where my friend was. I estimated that it would take me about 45 minutes to an hour. He agreed, so I carried on and had a great time. When I returned about 50 minutes later, my friend was lying on the ground, watching television on his phone and finishing his lunch. He said he felt better but looked quite down. His father arrived shortly after and picked him up while I finished the cycle. He has not mentioned the incident since. I feel bad for leaving my close friend alone in a difficult situation. Am I the antagonist in this situation? Honestly, you really didn't do the right thing. I mean, you should have stuck by your friend when he was sick instead of choosing your bike ride. Leaving him alone to deal with everything kind of shows you care more about your plans than his well-being. He could have been feeling some type of way or really needed help. It's not just about being cold, it's about being there for someone who's struggling. In a foreign place, having a buddy around is a big deal. It kind of seems like you just wanted to finish your training, and that's pretty selfish. I mean, it would be rough to trust someone who walks away when things get tough. Remember, friendships are all about supporting each other, not just about convenience. Am I the jerk for not giving my sibling the attention I should be giving them? I need to get something off my chest and hope for some advice. I want to clarify up front that I do not hate my brother, I just feel like I could be doing better and I am not sure how to improve. I am 19 years old and have a twin sister, an older brother who is 21 years old, and a younger brother who is 10 years old. When my younger brother was born, I became his second mom, helping to take care of him when my mother was busy. As I got older, I started giving him less attention. He is honestly the sweetest and most respectful 10-year-old. He is very creative and passionate about things like basketball. All he wants is to make us laugh and spend time with us. I realize that my younger brother looks up to me and my siblings, and I wish I had appreciated that sooner. During my high school years, I will admit I found him annoying at times. He went through a phase of being bothersome, and I would tell him to stop in a way that was probably more frustrating than helpful. However, I never hated him. He is the youngest, so he was always the favorite and could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. When my senior year of high school started, I did not drift away from him, but I definitely paid less attention. I still hung out with him sometimes, but it was not as often as before. Recently, my family and I went on vacation. My younger brother was excited because it was in the land of our religion, which he is passionate about. However, he did not have anyone his age to hang out with, so he kept asking me or my sister to spend time with him. Since we had a friend with us, we kept declining his requests. Bored, he started getting hyper and fidgety. Today, my father shared something that made me feel guilty. He told us that on Friday night during a walk back from dinner, they stopped by a group where the leader said, "Wish for anything you want," because it was a special holy night. My father asked my younger brother what he wished for, and he said, "Another brother." He was not being selfish, he just wanted someone closer to his age to hang out with. Then, at the cemetery today, my younger brother said, "I finally met my brother," referring to my baby brother who passed away shortly after birth. Hearing that broke me. My father reminded us that my younger brother is only 10 years old and looks up to us. He needs affection, attention, and love. I feel so guilty now. I have been so wrapped up in my own life that I did not realize how alone he must feel. I feel like a terrible sister for not giving him more of my time and attention. It feels like I missed my chance, but I am trying to remind myself it is not too late for him. For context, my younger brother gets most of the attention from our parents, which I understand because of the age gap. However, I now realize I need to be more present for him as well. You're not responsible for this, you know. It's totally normal for older siblings to find younger ones a bit annoying and for younger siblings to just want attention. Honestly, your little brother really looks up to you and just wants to connect. So consider taking some time to hang out with him, maybe grab a treat after school. I mean, building that relationship now will benefit both of you down the line. It's also worth thinking about how involved your other siblings were in his life and if your folks are giving him chances to play with kids his age. Remember, he won't be a kid forever, and those funny moments will turn into memories you'll cherish later. Plus, sharing your hobbies with him could be a great way to bond. Kids can surprise you with how much fun they are if you just give them a chance. So keep an open mind, and you both will create some awesome memories together. Am I the jerk for telling my parent I wanted to leave? I am 18 years old and entering college this fall. As a low-income student, I was fortunate to receive nearly a full scholarship to my dream school. This school is about an hour away from my home, where I live with my single mother. While things are generally okay at home, there are many aspects I find challenging. My mother is extremely strict, and we adhere to a very Christian lifestyle, which I do not mind since I value my faith. However, there are numerous things I am not permitted to do, and I believe many would agree that these restrictions are unreasonable. My desire to leave home is not solely based on these rules. Throughout my upbringing, I was not exposed to the outside world at all. For instance, I have never been in a friend's car or visited anyone's house unless they are a close family friend or a family member. This lack of exposure has caused me to feel insecure at times, and I have struggled to make friends for as long as I can remember. However, I am not entirely isolated. I have had close friends behind my mother's back. I acknowledge that this is not ideal, but they are not dangerous or negative influences. I also worry about finding a husband in the future due to my mother's strictness. I do not want him to feel trapped or face difficulties in marriage and dating as I grow older, and I suspect my mother's behavior will not change. My father is present in my life but does not live with us. Recently, he has shown more interest in my life, especially after learning I got into college. I only see him when he provides child support, which is difficult to obtain as he is quite stingy. He wants me to use my skills to help him start a company in the future, despite having contributed very little throughout my life. My mother has stated that the same rules will apply while I am in college, which I find unreasonable, but I understand her concerns since I will be living on campus. Recently, I expressed to my mother that I felt trapped and wanted to leave. This made her very angry. She spoke about the sacrifices she has made for me, which is true, and reminded me to be grateful, which is also valid. However, I feel that my desire for independence is justified. I do not want to be insensitive, but I believe I am at an age where I should have some say in my life decisions. While I would not actually leave home in this economy at such a young age, I believe I should be able to express my feelings. What do you think? Am I in the wrong for saying this? I would appreciate any advice on how to navigate my situation. Well, you're totally justified in wanting more independence. I mean, at 18, it's really normal to feel like you need to explore life outside your home. Your mom has done so much for you, but honestly, her strict rules can hold you back from growing into your own person. Wanting freedom at this stage. That's healthy, especially since you've been so limited. It's clear you're not trying to disrespect her, you just feel trapped and need some space. That's completely valid, and it doesn't make you ungrateful at all. You're at an age where making your own choices is part of growing up, even if they don't match your parents' expectations. And as for your dad, don't let him pull you into business deals or manipulate you. Just focus on living your best life. College is a great opportunity to learn and figure out how you want to live. You've got this. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.